Let's continue working with the order of operations, and for these first problems we'll concentrate on explicit grouping. Explicit grouping is at the top of the order of operations. The reason I refer to it as explicit grouping is you can actually see grouping symbols. Parentheses, brackets, and braces are all examples of grouping symbols. And if you have multiple grouping symbols in an expression, you work with them inside out. So you always start with the innermost grouping and then work yourself out. Once you're done with grouping in these problems, then you'll be moving on to steps 2 and 3. Here's an example. If I needed to follow directions, I'd first count the operators. I have an addition, a subtraction, and another subtraction for 3 operators. Since this addition is in parentheses, I'll need to do that first. And since this subtraction is in parentheses, I'll need to do that second. And then I'll perform this third subtraction last. So 6 plus 3 will give me 9, and 6 minus 3 will give me 3, and then 9 minus 3 will give me 6. Here's a problem for you. Please pause the video and see how you do. For this problem, I have 3 operators. I have a multiplication right here, because if you have a number and then a grouping symbol, there's a multiplication there, even though you don't see a multiplication symbol. So there's a multiplication here. There's also a multiplication right here, and then there's a subtraction. Now, this is an example of nested grouping. That is, since the parentheses are inside the braces, then the parentheses should be done first. So 10 minus 8 will give me 2. And then again, since the multiplication of 3 and 2 right here is inside the braces, it'll be done next because the braces are a grouping symbol. 3 times 2 is 6. And then 4 times 6 is 24. Now, some of you might have done this incorrectly and gone 4 times 3 is 12, and then 12 times 2 is 24. And you'll wonder, will you always get the same answer? And you will, because multiplication's commutative, like we talked about in the previous video. So whether you want to go 3 times 2 times 4, or 4 times 3 times 2, or 4 times 2 times 3, you'll always get the same product. Try this one. Again, we have nested grouping. We have parentheses inside of brackets. If we count the operators, we have a multiplication here, and a subtraction, and a multiplication right here, and an addition. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 operators. We'll do the addition first, and then inside the brackets we'll have a subtraction and a multiplication. Multiplication will be next. Subtraction will follow, and then this multiplication will be last. 5 plus 1 is 6. 2 times 6 will give us 12. 16 minus 12 is 4, and 3 times 4 will be 12. Here's another one. Be a little careful here, it's tricky. In this case, we have 3 operators, a division, a multiplication, and an addition. The addition is first because it's inside grouping symbols. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now we're left with division and multiplication. Neither one is more important than the other, so we do them left to right. 36 divided by 3 is 12, and 12 times 4 is 48. Now let's look at our last theme for order of operations today, and that's implicit grouping. With implicit grouping, we have grouping, but we don't have grouping symbols. Currently, the only operator we have to worry about this with is division. And all operations in the dividend or the divisor have to be completed before you find the quotient. For example, here, if I'm counting the operators, I have 2 subtractions and a division, so I have 3 operators. I'll need to perform the subtractions first, and then I'll do the division last. So the 10 minus 4 and the 7 minus 4 are grouped implicitly. We don't have parentheses around them, and yet we have to do them first. 10 minus 4 will be 6, 7 minus 4 will be 3, and then 6 divided by 3 will be 2. Here's a problem for you to try. In this case, we have a subtraction, a multiplication, a division, a subtraction, and another multiplication. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operators. In the numerator, the subtraction's grouped, so it'll be first. In the denominator, the multiplication will be first, since that has to be done before the subtraction. In the numerator, 6 minus 2 is 4. In the denominator, 2 times 2 is 4. In the numerator, 4 times 2 is 8. And in the denominator, 6 minus 4 is 2. And our quotient is 4. Try this one. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operators. Beginning in the numerator, multiplication is before addition, so we'll get 2 times 3 is 6. In the denominator, division and multiplication are equal in importance, so we do them left to right, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. In the numerator, 2 plus 6 is 8. In the denominator, 2 times 2 is 4. And then 8 divided by 4 is 2. Well, that concludes our work in this video on the order of operations.